Hey y'all, welcome back. So for today's video, we're going to be taking a look at Gen 1 of Monster High, and I'm going to be giving you my top 10 Gen 1 Monster High dolls. This is a video that was somewhat recently suggested by one of you guys, but also it's been suggested for a while, and for some reason I've just never gotten to it. But today that changes. So I've gotten like several requests in general to do like top 10 lists, and Monster High was just, like I said, one of the most recent ones, so that's why we are starting with them. So yeah, I'm going to be doing just Gen 1 of Monster High, just because I do think that the generations are so different that it would be a lot harder to figure it out if I had to include all of them. So to make this a little bit easier on myself, because it's very hard to pick my top 10 favorites, right? Like they're all so good. So to make it a little bit easier on myself, I did just do Gen 1. So I have all of my answers prepared. It was very difficult to figure out which ones should be in the top 10 spots, but I think I'm satisfied with my answers. So yeah, that is what we are going to be taking a look at today. I would obviously be very interested to hear what you guys think about these dolls in the comments down below, and also what your top 10 lists would look like. I'm sure that there are going to be so many of you guys who have like #1 favorite dolls that didn't even make it into my top 10, because Monster High released so many dolls in Gen 1. So like, obviously it's going to happen, and I would be really interested to hear which ones you guys thought deserved that top spot. And of course, if you guys do find yourself enjoying the video, if you could give it a like, that's super helpful to me. And then if you're new here and you enjoy your time, definitely subscribe so you can see more. But with that out of the way, we will start getting into my top 10. The keyword there really quick is my top 10. This is just going to be mine. So like I said, there are going to be some of you who disagree, and that's totally chill. I'd love to hear everyone's opinions, but like, please don't be upset if your favorite doll didn't make it into my top 10, because we just like different things. But yes, let's get into it. Obviously, we are going to be going backwards, so we're going to be starting off with like 10th place, because we have to build some like excitement, right, for #1. And so number 10 is going to be the Core Rochelle Goyle doll. This is a beautiful, beautiful doll. Mine is almost complete. I think she's missing just her headband and maybe an earring. I'm not sure if she was supposed to have two. So like, she's almost there. You can basically get the picture. I think this is such a beautiful doll. I think Rochelle had really amazing design points. Her color scheme is really, really pretty to me. And what makes this doll stand out to me is definitely the skirt. The texture is so interesting. It's almost like if you've gotten those like coloring books that have like the felt, and it's all black felt, and then it's like white where you should color in, and it's not felted on the white part, obviously, so you can like put a marker there. It kind of has that texture, but her skirt is like holographic, and it's just so pretty. I feel like this design, I mean, for Monster High standards, is like slightly more simplistic. It's not crazy over the top, but it works so well for her. She just looks so pretty, and she's so striking. So Rochelle is number 10 for me. Also, like, I didn't really think about this until just now, but obviously I've pulled my dolls off my shelf. So if you're someone who is a longtime viewer, or like you pay close attention when you watch my videos, just judging from the empty shelves behind me, you can kind of guess who's coming up. I didn't even think about that, but it's fine. We're not going to worry about that. Instead, we have to talk about number 9, and number 9 is a doll that I don't actually have, and that is Ghouls Rule Claudine. I am shocked that she made it like this high up for me, because this is a doll that I didn't really start to like until very recently. This is a doll that I've only recently decided I'm really, really into, and like at some point I would like to get her. There have been so many doll releases lately that it's like not been really feasible for me to buy new dolls and also buy dolls on the secondhand market, but I would love to own her eventually, because I think she's just so cool looking. Her makeup is so fun and interesting. Gen 1 Monster High really had some cool makeup looks sometimes, and I think this Claudine is a perfect example of that. I love the color of her hair and the style of her hair. It's so pretty, and I just think the jumpsuit is really, really fun. Obviously, not enough to like get her to even my top 5, but I think it's really cool. It's definitely an acquired taste. It's not for everybody, and so maybe that's why she's a little lower on the list, but it is creative to me. It's interesting, and it's different, and something about this doll is just really appealing to me. So I don't have her in my hands to give you like a really good example, but Ghouls Rule Claudine definitely deserved number 9 in my opinion. Now number 8 is a doll that I do have, and I kind of feel bad because like, I feel like she deserves to be higher up on this list than she is, but also the other dolls coming up, I love more. Like, I was looking at this and I collected, you know, my 10 dolls that I knew were my top 10. And then in terms of trying to organize those 10, I was like going through and I'm like, okay, would I rather have this doll or this doll? All right, this doll or this doll? And she just didn't end up being that high, but I kind of feel bad about that. And that's because it's the original Abby Abominable. And like, I don't even know what to say. She's absolutely iconic. This is such a gorgeous doll. Now, I love G3 Abby. I think that G3 Abby is a really, really awesome design and is giving G1 Abby a little bit of a run for her money. But the like original core Abby will always be my favorite Abby from Gen 1. I think this is such a beautiful design. She's so pretty. I feel like I should be saying something else that's more interesting, but I truly just don't know what to say. I love her hair. The type of tinsel that they used in it I thought was very nice. I feel like her design is just absolutely on point with like a fashionable version of the Abominable Snowman. She's amazing. So this is what I'm saying. Like, I kind of feel like she might deserve to go a little higher, and I feel like maybe you guys will rank her a little bit higher. But for me, just with the other ones coming up, she had to go into 8th place. Now for 7th place, we are once again talking about a doll that I don't have. And those of you who have been around for a while and watched a lot of my Monster High videos, this will come as no shock to you because this is Dawn of the Dance Laguna. I talk about this doll more often than I should be talking about this doll, considering that I don't have her. I would love to own her someday. She's just a little bit expensive. I can never find a good deal for her at the right time. And it's just like a whole thing. I don't have her. I would love to own her. I think she's an amazing doll. And she's my favorite Laguna doll from Gen 1. I just think it's so fun. Her dress is really cool. I love her heels, but it's definitely the hairstyle that makes her stand out above anything else to me. That mohawk or like faux hawk that she's got going on with multiple rows of ponytails is just so fun and interesting and creative. And every time I see a stock image of this doll or I see an image that someone else has posted online of her, I am struck again by how awesome I think she is. So like, not happening right now. I will own her one day. I think she's absolutely amazing. And like I said, it can't be a surprise to any of y'all who have heard me talk about her that she made it into my top 10. Kind of surprised she only made it to number 7. But you know, number 7 is still respectable. And for number 6, we are back into the realm of dolls that I do own, and we are going to be celebrating the I Love Fashion Venus doll. This Venus doll is so amazing. It's funny because if I'm not like looking at a database, right? If I'm like just thinking of Venus dolls, I always think about Core Venus first, right? Like the one back here. I always think about her, but realistically, this is definitely my favorite Venus doll. Her arm's a little loose, just realized that. But I just think she looks so amazing. The black that's mixed into her design on this doll, where she's got black checkers on her shaved side, a little bit of black rooting, and the super dark makeup looks so good for her. And I think this dress is just one of the most impressive dresses that was ever in Monster High Gen 1. It's not like the most detailed ever, but I just think it looks so cool. It's so fun. I love this doll. I don't even know what else to say. Like, again, she's not the Venus that comes to mind first, but when I actually look at all of them together, she is far and above my favorite. So obviously she had to make it onto this list. And obviously there had to be a Venus doll on this list somewhere. Like, she's one of my favorite characters from Gen 1 of Monster High, and hopefully Gen 3 as well. She's going to be coming back, and I'm extremely excited. So yeah, obviously she had to have a spot here. That brings us to the halfway point. We are now going to be talking about my top 5 Gen 1 Monster High dolls. And the crazy part is that we are kicking that off in spot number 5 with a doll that I don't even own, and that is the Fierce Rockers Caddy Noir doll. Now, I will say that the like original Caddy, also back here on the shelves, I don't know if she's in frame, she was a contender. I was really debating between these two Caddy dolls. I knew that a Caddy doll was going to be in spot 5. Like, both of those dolls are so amazing. And I do really, really love the original Caddy with her like high-low tattered skirt. It's amazing. It's iconic. She's a beautiful doll, but there's just something about the Fierce Rockers doll. I don't know if maybe it is because I don't have her, so it's harder for me to compare. Like, I can't see them both in person and make that decision. I just have to look at an image for one of them. But I just love her outfit so much. The asymmetrical jumpsuit is just so fun and exciting, and something about it just really draws me in. And then on top of that, her makeup is so pretty on her Fierce Rockers doll. I love her. This is another one that I would obviously like to get. Like, I can't be talking about my top 10 Gen 1 dolls and not want to buy the ones that I don't have. I'd love to own her at some point. I think she is such a standout. And shockingly to me, she just barely edges out the original Caddy, which is crazy because I feel like Fierce Rockers is not a line that tons of people love. I think that Caddy is probably the best doll from that line, though. And so she kind of eked her way into spot number 5. Okay, from here on out, I have all of the dolls. My top 4, I own all of them. And for number 4, we're going to be talking about River Styx. This is a amazing doll. Like, I just love her so much. The design is like kind of simplistic in the sense that there's not a whole bunch of different sewn pieces. Like, her dress is all one piece and she has her little cloak here. The cloak is very simplistic, but I'm a sucker for a cloak and I'll take it. Like, this is so fun to me. I do love the pattern on her dress. I think it's very beautiful. I like the idea of doing a Grim Reaper inspired doll, but having her be kind of pastel. I feel like it's not like the most unexpected thing ever. Pastel goth is like a whole subculture. But I just think it's really fun to get to see. And my favorite thing about this doll, I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to see it on camera, so I am sorry. But her limbs, parts of her limbs, so like her forearms and then her calves, are semi transparent and you can see a bone in there. And I just think it's so cool. I know I should be showing her to you, but like, I'll take any opportunity to be able to just stare at her. She is so, so stunning to me. Genuinely, the only thing that takes her down just a little bit and kept her in 4th position instead of like being higher up on the list is her face. There's nothing wrong with it, but for some reason, I'm like, should I repaint her? Which is crazy. Like, I should absolutely leave her alone. But I don't know. For some reason, this doll really inspires me creatively. Like, I just love her look so much that I want to do something with it and like I want to be a part of it. So part of me really wants to repaint her and wants to redo her face. And the other part of me is like, do not deface this doll. I guess let me know your opinions in the comments on that. But that like struggle is maybe the only thing keeping her back just a little bit, because I do feel like it's her lipstick that's sort of painted to be like teeth that's throwing me off. That's probably my least favorite thing about her. But this is an amazing doll. Like, she's absolutely stunning. All of the top 4 dolls, I mean, all of the top 10, but like all of the top 4 dolls especially were fighting for each position. It was so hard to pick who I wanted to be in which spot. So this is by no means an insult to River, but she is at number 4. Top 3. I feel like I would be completely remiss in making this video if I didn't have a Cleo doll on here, and it has to be Boo York Cleo. This is just such a beautiful Cleo. I will say that I like a lot of Cleo dolls, so it was kind of hard for me to decide which one should be on here or even if there should be multiples. But this doll just like stands out so much to me. She has a very different color scheme than Cleo usually got in Gen 1. I'm obsessed with the like blue black hair, and I'm so glad that she has a color closer to this in Gen 3. I just think it's so beautiful. The more bronzy tinsel in there just lights up in such an amazing electric way. And honestly, just the bronze in general, I didn't expect to feel this way because like Cleo is obviously a gold girly, but the bronze looks so beautiful on her. I'm speechless. Everything about this doll is beautiful and lovely to me. She's definitely my favorite Cleo from Gen 1. Sometimes I look at her and I can't believe that I get to have this, you know? Like, I can't believe that I can just walk into this room at any point in time and look at this doll. She makes me so happy inside, so she definitely deserved her position at my 3rd favorite Monster High doll from Gen 1. That means we are at my top 2, and this was really hard. I was debating between these a lot. I kind of wonder if this might be an unpopular opinion. I'm not really sure how people feel about this doll, but I obviously love her. So at number 2 is Serena Von Boo from the Freaky Fusion lineup. I feel like Freaky Fusion was kind of a divisive line. It might have gotten like a little more popular over the years, but when it came out, I feel like it was not the most popular. Definitely the Fusions, I think, received the best response from people, at least the people that I like vaguely encountered at the time. I wasn't super into the like online Monster High fandom. I was just kind of surface level there. But I think the other dolls were not quite as good. Serena, though, stands out to me. Just, I love her so much. I'm speechless. I don't even know what to say. She's so amazing. Those of you who have been around for a while will probably know that I am obsessed with mermaids. I love them so much. So the fact that she's part mermaid, great for her. And then she's also part ghost, so she gets this amazing pearlescent quality to her tail and her body and her face. And it's just so stunning. I love that she has fin eyebrows. I think that is so funny and creative and just like kind of goofy. Her hair doesn't look good right now. I really need to wash it, and I have probably needed to wash it for years at this point, and I just haven't because I really like how funky a hairstyle she got for her doll, like how she came stock. I think this is just such an interesting hairstyle. I, not to like speak negatively of other brands right now, but the first thing that I think of is Rainbow High and how a lot of their dolls have very basic hairstyles. I love how wacky this one was and how detailed and fun it was. And so I'm hesitant to wash her and have to redo it because I know it's not going to look right. But also, it doesn't look right now. So I should just redo it. That's not the point of the video, though. I love this doll. I genuinely have no complaints whatsoever about her. And again, I feel like that might be kind of an unpopular opinion. I don't know that Serena is like the most loved of Monster High dolls. Like I don't think that she would be number one for many people. And I mean, she didn't quite make it to number one for me. But by golly, was she close. She's another one where I'm just in awe when I get to see her. I love her so much. So she is at number 2 for me. Now, with all of that having been said, I feel like there are definitely some of you who can guess who my number 1 favorite is. I would not be shocked for those of you who have watched a long time for you to know which doll has been missing from this list. She's another one that I don't think is popular in the sense that the doll I know is liked well enough, but I don't think many people would rank her at number 1. I really tried with this list to not let nostalgia or anything like that cloud my judgment too much, but this doll just has such a special place in my heart. And I was going through my list and it was like, I can't not include her. She had to be somewhere in the top 10. And she ended up being number 1 because I just genuinely can't imagine having my collection without her. And that's because it is the original Spectre Vondergeist who started my collection. I've told this story several times on here. So sorry if I'm repeating myself to you guys, but Monster High came out when I was like exiting doll collecting or, doll owning age. At that point, I think I was in high school just barely by the time they came out. And I thought I was too cool for dolls. I thought I wasn't allowed to like dolls, and I was immediately interested in them, but wouldn't let myself enjoy it. And seeing Spectra was the reason that I was like, I have to cave, I have to give in, I have to accept this part of myself. And she wasn't the first doll that I bought because by the time I had decided I was going to buy her, she wasn't in stores anymore, so I had to get her online. But she's the reason that any of this exists. And I still think she's so beautiful. So even aside from like the nostalgia and the personal significance that she has, I still think this is an amazingly designed doll. I think even regardless of, like I said, the personal experience, she would have made it into the top 10 for me. And probably that nostalgia is just why she got bumped up to number 1. But I think she has such a beautiful design. Her hair is such a pretty color of purple. I love just like her ghostly countenance. The fact that her hands and her feet are transparent is super, super cool to me. And everything about her outfit is just so pretty. Like, I love her so much. I don't know what else to say. I'm so in love with this doll. So happy that she started this whole journey for me, but also just that I get to have her. I know that there have been rumors for a while that Monster High is going to do more reproductions of kind of their Gen 1 dolls. And if that happens, I think Spectra was one that we were rumored to be getting. No idea if that will still be happening. But if it does happen, I will be trying to get another one, which is not something that I do. I don't buy duplicates. Not that I think there's anything wrong with buying duplicates. It's just not something that I personally do. She is the exception to that rule. I would buy a duplicate of her because I just want to have this doll so many times over. She means so much to me, and I love her so much. So obviously she had to be at the number 1 spot here. But yes, guys, that is going to be it for today. This was really, really fun to do, even though it was super challenging to do. Like, it was so hard to pick my favorites because there are so many good Monster High dolls. So like I said before, I would love to hear what your top 10 favorites would be. And then also, if you like this sort of video, which doll brand do you want me to do next? I can do G3 of Monster High. I think I've gotten requests for Rainbow High in the past, so I could do them. I could do LOL. Just let me know which ones you guys want to see, and I'm happy to oblige because like I said, this is fun to do. And the best kind of videos are the ones where I'm having fun filming and like doing all the preparation for it, and then you guys are having fun watching. It's just like a nice moment of synergy. So definitely let me know. But yeah, I do hope that you guys enjoyed. As always, I have my P.O. Box, Amazon wishlist, Instagram, and TikTok in the description if you guys want to support me in other places. But otherwise, I hope y'all have a lovely rest of your day or your night or whatever it might be, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.